Wow, the copy editor really mailed it in this week. Live from your ESG pickle jar. That's it? That's all they have? Pickle jar?
There's nothing else.
It's a Business Pants Friday show here at September 5th Studios featuring analyst Matt Moscardi. I love how you're the only one who gets any credit for anything, but that's fine. I'm okay with that.
I don't get it. Who gives me credit?
You notice how I've created these introductions and I only announce you like I don't exist, which is okay.
Yeah, why don't you? That's you,
No.
right? You hired
and you
the
can't
editors
change
to
it.
write
You
it.
don't have control over the script.
You're
On
the
today's
staff.
weekly wrap-up, CEOs are fun and important.
Oh, thank God.
Boston is better than Providence.
Ooh.
And Liberty Locks. Liberty Locks.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
Is that
I knew you wouldn't. I'll give you a hint. It's like freedom fries. Can you?
Oh, I love.
Can you figure it out?
I was gonna say, is it smoked salmon? Because that
It's from a
would make
particular
me-
country that people are upset about in the U.S.
I know exactly where this is going.
That was a tough one. I tried because I was
that-
like, what is Norway even known for? What do they sell? Like, how do I make
oil.
a Norway
They're known
joke?
for oil. Oil. You could have said oil.
And yet they drive a lot of electric vehicles. Although I heard that the only country that is like addicted to Teslas is Norway of all countries, right?
Really?
It's Norway, I think.
Still?
Yeah.
Still? Oh.
Despite their, liberal ways. Anyway, let's whoa. Our show today is being sponsored by FreeFloatAnalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power, connections, and performance for free. That's a good thing. You seem happy about that.
I love that. First of all, I love it because I just got a new set of data from them, updated data, and it's going to get pushed to the platform soon. And but they let me get a sneak peek.
I love it.
And every time I get a new data set, it makes me happy. It just
By the
makes
way,
me happy.
It's possible we have some new listeners here and there. We hear whisperings. We welcome other sponsorships. We've heard a lot of people praise us for things like our authenticity, which I think we accept as a valid compliment. If you want to sponsor something that is fiercely authentic and independent, sponsor the show.
Yeah. Also, it's fiercely independent and authentic and all those things, but the listenership, looking at the data and the information, is like, we're like dealing with like
they have money.
C-suite like C-suite.
I think what
types,
Matt's trying to say is that they're not a Dollar General a lot and they have a lot of spending power. What Matt's trying to say. We don't have a huge audience. What Matt's saying is that we have a really wealthy audience.
Not quantity.
How dare you call them quality? All right, come on, let's do it. Come on, can we get to the show?
I'm
nervous.
I love that music. I love the music.
I'm nervous because for the first time I'm using a new browser. I'm using Microsoft Edge and not Chrome, and I'm worried it's gonna like ruin the show.
I'm pretty sure actually it says in Riverside,
Right.
do not use Microsoft
Is that
Edge.
true?
I'm pretty sure. I think
it's working so far. Let me get to story of the week. I gotta tell you. This week was crazy for stories. I think what I've learned is that in August, everyone either goes to the Hamptons or goes to the moon, wherever rich people vacation. I think it's both. And they just don't release any stories. But the first week after Labor Day, we've just had an onslaught of stories. An onslaught.
But I thought it's the opposite. I thought it was like,
Really?
don't you news dump bad news right before a 3-day weekend?
Well, maybe
when no one's gonna
journalists
care?
go away too. Where do they vacation? They get a tent on the
Norway.
side of the road?
No, Norway. I thought
Okay.
Norway mostly.
In no particular order, here are my stories of the week. First, at Nestle, the CEO was sacked over affair with junior colleague. That's the headline.
Yeah. Heard about this.
His name is Laurent Freixe. I don't know if I'm getting that right, but dismissed after boardroom inquiry revealed undisclosed romantic relationship. Another headline was that he promoted a junior colleague he had an affair with. And how about this headline? Nestle CEO axed after probe into complaints of favoritism. CFO says.
Well, the CFO.
we never get this kind of crap. We never get like board members and executives immediately like ratting the dude out, pointing fingers, being like getting on their ethical high horse. This is really strange. I got to tell you. And listen to this nuance of this story. This is CFO Anna Manz. It happens to be a woman. She says that the story came up because an employee raised concerns on Nestle's internal reporting system called Speak Up. So someone actually used
the system.
Yeah, but here's what she said that made me laugh. The matter was investigated by the board, okay, but no evidence was found. So they then had to hire an outside counsel, a bunch of lawyers who they found something. The board itself actually couldn't figure it out.
Sucked at this. Yeah. They
another wrinkle of the story.
But wait.
Go ahead.
The board didn't find it. Did they ask the CFO? Did they ask anybody?
I don't know. I don't know how the board, an impressive group of like a dozen of Europe's finest business leaders, they couldn't figure it out.
They couldn't figure this out?
But they hired a Swiss law firm and they figured it out.
And 9 seconds later, and he was out fast.
Yeah. So here's another part of the story before I get to what I think is going on. Nell Minow is she's quoted in this. The headline is Nestle fired its scandal-clad CEO without a payout. A really unusual move, a corporate governance expert says. So she's the corporate governance expert.
Well, that checks out, right?
She says that is really unusual. I think that's actively a badge of success for corporate governance because that's something investors have been concerned about for a long time. CEOs being dismissed and somehow getting to stay on. I don't know what that means, but I thought we were talking about pay.
I think she's mostly referring to like the executive chair move, right?
Yeah,
like
but I think the writer of that article kind of mixed up two ideas.
Yeah,
there.
I think they did. Two
concepts,
yeah.
Okay, so all roads point to the board here of like a swift move. They're calling them out. They're telling everyone what the problem was. The CFO is even weighing in. I never see this. So it made me ask the question, who the hell is the board? What's going on here? And you know who the board is? It's basically one man. It's a guy named Paul Bulke. Let me tell you about Paul.
Ex-CEO, right?
Yes, Paul has been the chair since 2017. He was the CEO from 2008 to 2016. He is their longest tenured director. He's been there since 2008. He's the longest tenured by 7 years. This is his board. He's been at the company since 1979.
Jesus, find a new company.
This is just, I'm doing a little bit of conspiratorial math here. I'm not falling for the story that they're putting in the press. This guy, Laurent, he was hired as CEO only a year ago.
Yeah, 1 year.
I'm smelling a little bit of like a Bob Iger, Bob Chapek problem going on here. They weren't liking the new CEO. Instead of talking to him and figuring out this problem with his relationship, they pulled the plug. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they're admitting to themselves they made a succession planning problem and they're ending his tenure. I don't know. I don't mean to be cynical here. I just don't think all boards pull the plug so quickly on situations like this. Maybe they're just doing the right thing. Maybe these are ethical geniuses. I don't know. I'm smelling something a little off here. And I will tell you that Nell's partner, the deceased Bob Monks, told me that when you're looking for corporate governance stories, if you smell something fishy, if like you smell something off, like follow your nose. And I'm smelling something off here. I think Paul is wanting to get rid of this guy.
I assume Bob Monks did not tell you that recently, as he's recently.
That's too soon for that joke. Yeah.
Here's what. So we actually.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Well, so we had somebody ask us about this situation. They said, "What can you?" And this is. And I
said the same answer the first time. By the way,
you said the same answer the first time, and my answer was, like, look, a company like Nestle is a professionalized board. There's basically
it's
boards.
Swiss, yeah, it's European.
there's boards where, it's because it's European, you don't see the CEO
Bunch of
on
bureaucrats.
the board.
Yeah.
And
but the former CEO, which is a bit unusual.
But the former CEO is there,
Yeah.
which is unusual. But the people around the former CEO, effectively, these are, they're all professionals. They're multi-boarders. Not one of them or most of them are on multiple boards.
This is Paul's board.
And you have to believe that the board is acting in the board's best interest, right?
Remember the board didn't find the problem the first time they looked.
Right. I think what we've discovered about this board in particular is they are really bad at finding something out, but really good at making a decision after something's been found out.
Maybe bad at CEO succession planning too.
This is quite the story. It's no Kroger, but it's good.
Okay, speaking of which, just to tell you how unusual this really is, the Kroger ex-CEO is still in the headlines. I pulled this week. Kroger's ex-CEO won't have to detail, let me repeat that, will not have to detail embarrassing thing he did to get fired. So we still don't know what this chump did, Rodney McMullen. He did something horribly unethical too at Kroger. He got let go. But we know everything about Laurent, the former Nestle CEO. Even the CEO is
the CFO. Yeah, that's
the CFO was talking gossip. I mean, you just don't see this stuff. You just don't see this stuff.
You're not going to see Kroger's CFO being like, "Yeah, that guy was a real dick." It's just not going to happen.
So if you have any insight on this, reach out to us because I don't know. Look, I'm not saying that it's not a fireable offense. It is if you're breaking the code of conduct at the company. I just think that there are also plenty of scenarios where the board says, "Hey, let's figure this out. Like we might have to reprimand you, might have to do this, but I don't know if they're necessarily going to fire you immediately. But what do I know?
Did they name an interim already?
No, they named a successor already. It's another insider.
Which is that to me is the fascinating part, right?
Let me check that while you talk. I don't think it's an interim.
Because the fact is, if you can name somebody that quickly, either the timeline is in question here, as in they knew for longer and announced it now while they looked for an immediate successor, or it happened really swiftly and they are really good at knowing exactly who they wanted in the job next. And by that I mean Paul, right? Paul Bulkey, because he's the one who's been there since 1979. It's basically he's treating it like a founder firm. He knew who he wanted next, and that's who they picked. I don't know which it is.
This is his name is Philip Nevraltil. He's an inside hire. He's been at the company since he graduated college, and he is already promoted as the new CEO. No interim.
So, when did he graduate college, right? I think if Paul Bulkey's
2001.
been there since 1979, then there's no way the new CEO is going to cross the guy who's been at the company since 46 years at the company.
My Bob Monk's corporate governance spidey sense tells me that this is a Bob Iger, Bob Chapek moment. They think they made a mistake.
You might be right about that.
Yeah, that's all I got. Okay, that's the first story of the week. Second story of the week, you're not going to like as much. Tech CEOs take turns praising Trump at White House dinner.
We're going to come back to this. I added them as assholes this week.
Okay, can I just do the quick math on this? Can I do some ESG fun math on this?
I love ESG math, yeah.
So there are 25. I spent about an hour. It's difficult navigating the world when you use a combination of internet searching and AI agents because they all give you different information. So it took me a while.
Do it yourself anyway.
But I feel very confident. I found the list, and I'm not including some of the people who worked for the Trump administration or his wife. I'm just talking about all the actual executives who came. I got a list of 25 executives. So let's play a quick game, and that's this. What were there more college dropouts who attended or more women?
Oh no!
I mean, I think you know the answer already.
It's
25.
Really,
there were 25.
I'm building suspense. Let me build suspense.
Yeah. It's a difficult one.
No, on one hand, so many college dropouts. On the other hand, women are everywhere in tech.
The good news, before you answer the question, the good news is that we've talked a long time about this 30% barrier, right? We got to get 30% women on boards.
Women on the board, yeah.
But we have hit 30%. We have hit 30%
We're
something.
receding from it. We're receding.
No, I want to. No, this group of tech executives, I'm saying they hit 30% at something. Is it women or is it college dropouts?
Ooh, it's definitely so hard. It's dropouts. Come on. Yeah.
32% of the cohort are college dropouts, and yet only 3 of the 25 women, 25 people are women. Only 11%.
I don't want to pretend going to college is the answer to everything, but 1/3 of these people are man boys. That's basically that's the number, right?
Well, can I tell you, Axios, if you're listening, Axios, we've been talking to Axios a lot this week about releasing some of our data on the bro IPO world, all the men, and they've been pushing us to get even more data to prove this and prove that. Axios, if you're listening, exactly 11% of this cohort is women. That's the same figure we came up with our other things. Just trust us. We know what we're talking about. Yeah.
I mean, that's a fun, horrible
It's a fun
number.
stat. Unfortunately, one of the women is not even. She's a nepo baby. She's her dad actually started the company, so I didn't know how to include that. But she's still she's
to include.
And she's a co-CEO. But I still had to include her.
But you didn't include Musk because he now says
No, Elon Musk not there.
He said he was invited but couldn't attend. That's why he wasn't there.
And that is a segue to our next story. But before we get to that, how about this horrible story that just made me kind of cringe? One of the invitees was Satya Nadella. No, I'm sorry. Well, he was one. No, I'm actually Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google. He said this. This is the headline. I'm glad it's over. Google CEO thanks Trump for antitrust resolution. That's just creepy to me. That's not the way it's supposed to work, by the way.
No, that's not the way it works.
The president is not supposed to be talking to the Department of Justice about major antitrust cases. I'm surprised they kind of said it that loudly. Like,
let's just come back to it.
Thanks Trump for anyway.
It's horrible.
I felt uncomfortable about that. Okay, so let's move on. That's the second story of the week. All the tech bro. And they really are tech bros. The math.
Yeah, it's bros. It's man baby bros.
The third story, segue over to Elon Musk. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I don't want to thoroughly depress my whole weekend because I have a new book and I'm just I don't want to just dwell on this too much. Tesla, ready for this? Yeah, and I'm taking this headline. This is from the Indian
Times, Times of India or something.
Indian Defense Review. I don't know what this is,
but
I just like the way they put this. I was going to use a headline from CNBC. I like theirs better. Tesla plans to pay Elon Musk $1,000 billion, which means
already hate it.
which is $1 trillion, right?
Yeah, I like 1,000 billion though.
Yeah, but this is the way they said it, which is they like that they added this more than Switzerland's GDP. See, now I'm getting depressed. More than Switzerland's GDP in a deal tied to sci-fi level goals. So
okay, false.
This is a crazy headline, but I think the point is real. Is that this is basically like sci-fi movie villain. Like this is craziness. This is like beyond Lex Luthor. I think
they meant sci-fi villain. I think they meant.
That's how I'm taking it. This is worse than Lex Luthor. I mean, this is crazy talk. So, and this is, and let me highlight one other detail. I don't know if you want to talk about this now, if you want to talk about this later.
I'm going to talk about it later too.
Look at this detail I found in, I think this is CNBC. So Tesla chair Robin Denholm, who we know she's gotten really rich off of just kissing Musk's butt, right? Like she's already a billionaire.
No, almost $750 million. Yeah,
just in the last year, or two. She's cashed out.
Yeah,
this is recent.
I mean, like she's cashing. They're all cashing out in the last year. Yeah.
So she said the plan was designed to keep the CEO motivated and focused on delivering for the company. That's her quote. Okay. But then she went on to say that they would not put any limit on where and how Musk spends his time or require him to spend any minimum number of hours per week on Tesla business. I mean, what a joke. I mean, really, like, so they're going to give him $1 trillion to stay motivated and focused, and yet there's actually no requirement for him to stay focused on the company.
I can't believe that we have to say out loud
Robin, you should resign just for the sake of the world. Just resign. You're not independent of anything. You're a total shill. This is embarrassing. Really.
Okay, so one of two things is probably true here. Either Musk is literally a one of the kind, once in every 10 generation super genius.
I don't care.
Or
it's not how the
more
world should
likely,
work.
he has no accountability and no governance because. Like
they both could be true, I guess.
If you imagine, forget it's Robin Denholm and Elon Musk. Pretend it's the chair or the lead independent director at GM and Mary Barra. Would you ever, in the history of ever, say we are going to pay Mary Barra even $10 billion to stay focused on her job, then say, but we are not going to require that they show up to their job.
What about just a sense of like American ethics and morality? I thought we were like a Christian nation. Like what are we doing anyway? But why
You're
are we
a Jew? What are you talking about?
But you know what I'm trying to say? Like Judeo-Christian. Like what are we doing? We're enriching like one man over millions of Americans. What the hell is going on anyway? What about our sense of morality? Here's the worst part. You talking about corporate governance? Here's the worst part. This stupid company. This stupid Tesla, which, by the way, as I mentioned at the opening of the show, only Norway still buys Teslas. Like they suck at selling cars. I know, Elon. You know, you're going to sell robots one day. Fine, whatever. But here's how terrible this stupid company is. Elon Musk and Robin Denholm are not even up for a vote this year.
No, of course
they don't even let shareholders vote for directors every year. Like the whole thing is stupid.
You know what's amazing? There's a shareholder proposal right now to eliminate the classified board, and there's
you don't
a
need a
shareholder
proposal for that. Eliminate it.
But in order to get that passed, you have to eliminate supermajority voting because otherwise you need a supermajority. And there's a shareholder proposal to eliminate supermajority voting, which they don't expect to pass. Right?
I don't even care what you're saying anymore. Listing exchanges, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, whatever. Stop letting companies list that don't have annual elections that don't have one share, one vote. Let them be private companies. Just stop the madness.
The reason why we have to recognize the level of bullshit is because we talk a lot about dual class companies, like fake public companies, right? Where one share is worth 10 votes for the, man baby who dropped out of school who owns the share. They own the voting power of the company. And we talk about Tesla saying it's one share, one vote. And we talk about how Tesla is a democracy, and even Musk himself said he wasn't comfortable without owning more of the company, and he threatened to take AI somewhere else and his innovation somewhere else because it was one share, one vote. He's worried about activists. He's worried about getting voted out and that stuff. But the reality at Tesla is that 2/3 of investors need to agree to get rid of certain things in order to actually make it a democracy. Because right now, you don't even vote for half of the people. You don't vote for 2/3 of the board in any given year. And the ones you do vote for, it's non-binding. They don't have to go anywhere. What is the democracy here?
One of the 25 tech leaders to be at the White House yesterday was a college dropout, Dylan Field. He's like 10 years old. He's already a billionaire. The stock is already tanking because they're not making any money. He runs a company called Figma, where
they just IPO'd.
Where his stupid shares are worth 15 votes per share. Again, the company is already tanking. He's already a billionaire. Somehow he's what does the company do? This is one of my complaints that I said to reporters about why I was pissed about this bro IPO market. It's not just that it's letting men acquire generational wealth over women, because most of them are not only are CEOs of the IPO companies, but they're the biggest shareholders. But they create insipid companies that don't benefit humanity at a time where we could all use a little bit of benefit. We could all use a little bit of help. This guy, Dylan Field, Figma, it's like AI that helps you build nicer, better websites. Like what? Really? Like you're laughing because
you're so judgy.
Because you should, because it's dumb. I'm sorry, but if that's your company, you should be making like $80,000 a year. That's your cap, Dylan Field.
look, if we're going back to the list there, like I also noticed that you have Safra Katz on the list.
Yeah.
Who's the CEO of Oracle.
Yeah.
Isn't Oracle owned by Larry Ellison?
Yes, it's Larry Ellison, yes.
And
but I had to include her. She's on the list.
So, but you're really talking about like two of the three women in that room are a Nepo baby and under a dual class male dictator.
Yeah.
I wonder what percentage dropped out of Stanford. I'm guessing it's also higher than the percentage of women in that room.
You know what's weird too is that the third woman, whatever. There's three women. One you just mentioned, Safra Katz, Oracle CEO, and the most recognizable is Lisa Su. Of course, she's the CEO of AMD, cousin of Jensen Huang, right?
Yeah,
who wasn't there. But the third one is Natalie Dompe. She is the Nepo baby daughter of a pharmaceutical company, a privately held pharmaceutical company from Italy. Like, what the hell is she doing there? Like, that's one of the three tech CEOs.
How'd you get the invite?
It's not even a tech. It's not even a tech
how'd you
company.
get that invite?
I don't know. But I had to include her in the stats to be fair. So anyway,
all right,
let's move on to the fourth story of the week. So the first was the Nestle CEO fired. Second were the tech bros at the White House. Third was the incredibly horrible $1 trillion pay package proposed at Tesla. The fourth I'm just calling ESG and pop culture. We had a lot of CEOs at weird pop culture stories this week. First, I don't know if you actually went to watch the tape, but there's a Polish CEO who stole a hat from a kid at the U.S. Open. That's a good tape to watch.
It made me uncomfortable.
They're calling him the most hated man on the internet. The second was a Turkish CEO threw a flower pot at an employee. I like that one too. But don't do that. You shouldn't throw flower pots at CEO. But it was just a big week for look, the U.S. Open story was a big deal this week. I had to include it. Everyone was talking about it, so I just had to throw it in there. If you wanted to go in a different direction.
I mean, throwing a flower pot is fun, and I am tempted to pick it. I did watch the video. It made me really uncomfortable.
I will say that
like watching it.
The reason why I picked the flower pot one is because the CEO said that he promised to manage staff better to prevent similar incidents in the future. So I only picked it as a corporate governance lesson of like,
don't throw a flower pot.
Well, no, it's like he stays at work and he's promising to make things better. It's like, okay, like where's your board? Where are your bosses?
The guy with the anger management problem was like, I promise that I'll deal with my anger management problem.
And I picked the other story because I thought it was kind of funny because all the ESG sleuths out there were mad at the Polish CEO who stole the kid's hat, and they're attacking a different company with the same name called Drogbrook. So all the ESG sleuths are getting it wrong, and they're attacking a different company with the same name. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Pick a story. Story of the week is Nestle. It's Nestle.
It's in our wheelhouse. It's in our wheelhouse.
It's in our wheelhouse. This is a massive company. I know, like, Americans don't think about any other place other than America.
They love chocolate, though, don't they?
But Nestle is actually like half of the things you're eating. Like, there are like 4 food manufacturers on Earth, and Nestle's one of them.
It's like Kraft Heinz, Nestle, and Chipotle, right? That's the 3.
And Mondelez, right?
Okay, Mondelez.
Chipotle.
They make big burritos, yeah.
All right, let's move on to, what do we got? Goodliest.
Yeah, come on. Paul Bulke. He's the one who fired the CEO at Nestle. That's
I know, Paul Bulke. Remember that name, journos listening to this. Paul Bulke's the guy you need to ask the questions. Yes. Don't ask about the
how did you have a guy so fat? Like, how did you have a guy ready so quickly? What did you like? You have some kind of machine, some 3D printer or something?
Yeah, it's a really good one. I have 2 Goodliest of this week.
You want to go first?
I'll go one, and then you can do one. I mean, first of all, the first one is easy for me. The headline was Harvard beats Trump as judge orders U.S. to restore $2.6 billion in funding.
You know, that's hard for you because it's your alma mater.
You're
from Rhode Island. Yeah,
I am livid at my alma mater because Harvard sued and got the money. Now, whether or not they actually get paid is still a question, right? Like, they won.
Still a question.
they're not going to release the funds to Harvard, most likely. But now Harvard actually has leverage in any conversation. Like this whole thing was bullshit. Give us our money, and they'll pursue it, and we'll see how far it goes. But look at you dopey colleges that rolled over.
How?
I don't care that you paid not that much money.
How do you roll over to this in this situation?
Why are you rolling over? Like, I know you're trying to protect, your staff and your students and all this stuff, but you think rolling over actually protected them?
You're stabbing your students in the back by doing that.
It really does nothing. The short-term pain
and your faculty.
It's really unbelievable to me. So that one made me feel good, a little bit vindicated, because I'm glad that somebody fought and won something.
That would have been my choice. So I picked a couple that were like tongue-in-cheek goodliest, but I was happy.
Goodliest.
I was definitely happy to see that Harvard beats Trump. So again, a little tongue-in-cheek. My first one is that the Kraft Heinz breaks up, bumming out billionaire Buffett. Right, I like that. But here's the thing that made me. This is why
bumming him out. Yeah.
Here's the thing that I picked. Why I picked this as goodliest. Listen to the names of the new companies. I almost can't believe it. I feel like I'm being trolled here. The one that's selling things like Oscar Mayer Kraft singles and Lunchables. First of all, can you believe there's a company that sells that shit?
Is that food?
They're calling it North American Grocery.
That's not a great name.
Can you even believe that's the name? It's like an adjective and a noun. It's like a modifier and a thing. Like what? North American Grocery. First of all, is that food? That stuff is food? Like that company's still successful? Second one, ready for this? Ready for the second one? Remember, Kraft Heinz is breaking up. First of all, why not just call it Kraft and Heinz? But whatever, dudes.
Okay, all right, fine.
The second entity, which sells sauces and spreads. Again, I can't believe there's a effing company that sells sauces and spreads.
You take like mayonnaise, right?
I guess. Mayonnaise? Yeah. And by sauces, they mean ketchup. Which I don't really call
not a sauce.
It's more like
not a sauce.
It's like a type of toothpaste that you don't want to eat.
A condiment is not a sauce.
Yeah. This is what they're calling it: Global Taste Elevation.
That's the company name, or
I swear to you, I double checked this. This is what they're saying.
What is that?
What is happening? Global Taste Elevation. I mean, I had to pick that for goodliest. That's a great name. Global.
It's like
Taste Elevation.
Might as well. Can you have less brand value?
What's happening?
If like your first segment is like food selling, and the second segment is tongue things.
Am I getting this right? Did I screw this up?
I don't know.
I swear I double checked this, but
it is tongue in cheek goodliest. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, I love it.
It is ridiculous.
What's your second one?
My second one actually is this headline: U.S. flight attendants pushed to be paid when planes aren't in the air. Most of our passengers have no idea.
I love that.
I love it because we just saw the
Air Canada.
That's what they fought for.
Yes.
This is the value of like your union and the striking.
How?
Did you know they don't get paid? 90% of their job is dealing with assholes on the ground.
How?
Not in the air.
How is this possible?
I don't know how you don't.
But
I've never heard.
They're there in uniform and they're checking people in onto the plane before it takes off. How are they not getting paid for that?
When I walk into the building where I work, I'm at work.
As soon as they get to the airport, they should go into a door and punch in the time card.
Right? Yes. Right? Like, even if you said as soon as you get on the airplane, but that means when they're cleaning up the shitty gum you left on the bottom of your seat,
but even when they
don't get paid for that.
Even when they're walking through the airport, there are probably like snot-nosed kids who are probably like waving to them. That's work.
Unbelievable they don't get paid for that in the first place.
They're
right. Most passengers have no idea.
Right.
I'm super glad that they're doing something about it.
My second goodliest is this bizarre moment where we have a new global CEO entering the socialist world. Like this is kind of like Zoran Mamdani. I don't know what's going on here. I maybe Bernie's having another moment. But here's the headline: McDonald's CEO warns of two-tiered economy. What's going on here? Like.
You talking about Chris Kempczynski?
Yeah, Chris Kempczynski. Is he joining the social left of the business?
He's a Bernie bro now.
What the hell's going on? So he says this. he says, particularly with middle and lower income consumers, they're they're under a lot of pressure right now. Amen, Chris.
Yeah.
He says, here's the line of demarcation. He says, if you are upper income, earning over $100,000 a year, things are good. But for everyone else, it's shit, right? So that's his line. That's his line. But okay, here's what's a little tongue in cheek.
I don't think he said things are shit.
Okay, well, I'm paraphrasing, but they are. But here's the tongue in cheek part of it. McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczinski, he earned $18 million last year, $19 million a year before, et cetera, et cetera. Matt, last year, just for his personal flights, not even attached to his board meetings at McDonald's, they gave him $400,000 in perks. So that's four times the amount that he claims is already a big earner. Yeah,
he didn't say I have a shitty time. He said we're just seeing that people like me.
Well, that's why
it's
tongue in cheek.
That's what he's saying.
His CEO pay ratio last year, which actually is the lowest it's been in 4 years, was 1,014 to 1, which means that 11:02 a.m. and 50 seconds on the first day of the year, he earns as much as the median employee in McDonald's. So I just think it's a little
Didn't they just
ironic.
have
Is that the right word?
Didn't they just have some sort of dispute where they didn't want to pay wages or tips or something like that?
Well, no, he's angry that what he's angry about is that the tipped workers don't have to pay taxes on the tips, but his workers are not getting tips. He thinks that they should all have a minimum wage.
Chris,
yeah,
increase their salary, pay them more.
Just
pay them more.
Chris, if you're going to wade into this war, then to just do the right thing first of all.
If you're going to say
living wages.
If you're going to say this, and you're going to say this knowing that your employees make less than that.
Yeah.
Right? What's the
living
median
wage.
employee?
Living wage.
What's the median at McDonald's, right? You're talking about $20,000 a year?
It must be
26,000. I think. I think the last CEO pay ratio is 26,000 was the number they used. $26,000 a year is less than $100,000 a year. Your employees have it bad.
How about this? How about Chris Kempczinski in 2021 when we're still kind of in the COVID world? His CEO pay ratio was 2,200 to 1.
Yeah, see, you put this in Goodliest. I feel like this is asshole.
Well, it's tongue in cheek because I'm glad that he's warning of a two-tiered economy. I mean, that's important. I think it's important to warn of this.
Sure, I'm not voting for that.
But I'm not going to let go of you, Chris. I'm gonna pester you to get that living wage thing going. Get that. Figure it out.
My vote is I'm going to vote for Harvard.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I like that.
All right, good. We got that right. Let's do assholes.
Oh boy, is this going to be bad?
Assholiest. No, I've got 4, but it's all one thing.
Okay.
All right. So
I don't know
first,
what that means.
number 1 is free market capitalism.
Yes, it's kind of under attack, especially from the right now. They're becoming socialist company owners.
They are full-on socialism out of the Republican Party in this country. All right. First of all, I want just a reminder on this first one. In 2024, John Deere.
Yes. Tractor company.
The tractor company caved to Robbie Starbuck.
Even how that happened, I have no idea.
Robbie Starbuck, citizen
internet
journalist.
Troll.
No. Citizen journalist.
That's
Robbie
what I said.
Starbuck.
I said
not
that. Internet troll.
Not internet
That's what I said. Yeah.
They scrapped their DEI programs in 2024.
Congratulations,
and
dear.
Starbucks said, quote, people should go to work without having to feel like they have to behave a certain way in order to be acceptable to their employer.
I don't even know what that means.
I'm pretty sure it means they can be racist if they want to be.
White and racist?
They can do whatever they want.
Uncle Herschel with the barrel again? Is that what we're talking about?
Employees should have no repercussions for their behavior.
Well, it's funny you say that because there was a story this week about a Fox News announcer who said that I can talk shit about women now because Trump won. He said that out loud. So that's kind of what Robbie Starbuck is saying.
That's what he's saying.
We've earned the right to be racist to other employees now because
thank God, finally.
Right?
Finally.
And Deere, the entire board at Deere said, okay, sure.
The Deere said, we agree. Let's scrap all diversity programs.
Like Costco, they could have put out a press release saying, hell no. But they were like, yeah, fine.
We made a fun of Deere because after Deere scrapped their DEI programs,
Wimps.
the National Legal Policy Center actually still put in a shareholder proposal demanding for a report on implied discrimination against whites, effectively is what they asked for. That wasn't the title because they always sort of try to mask it with some innocuous sounding title. But they did say that, quote, in 2019, Starbucks was sued for a single case of discrimination against a white employee who was awarded $25 million in 2023. The risk of litigation for such mistreatment is rising, and companies have begun to reconsider whether their DEI programs perpetuate prejudice rather than alleviate it. That was the argument.
That's terrible.
Because one white person got discriminated against, that
I still don't even know how that.
This is a material risk. Now they're saying that, like, even though you scrapped your DEI, it's a material risk. We want to report. They pushed them even farther. In response to Deere scrapping their DEI, the National Black Farmers Association president, John Boyd, actually called for the resignation of John May, the CEO of Deere, and boycott the company. Said they were boycotting. But I just want to emphasize that when this headline came out, the first thing I thought is, I thought it was the DEI, not I thought it was the DEI's problem, because the headline is John Deere, a U.S. icon, is undermined by tariffs and struggling farmers. Uh-oh. That was the headline from yesterday.
New York Times,
So free market capitalism is basically you caved not to the market, you caved to one internet troll.
Yeah.
And the market fucked you up.
Or one right-wing populist president.
The guy who basically is in office now because of internet trolls like Robbie Starbuck put in place tariffs, artificial taxes on you that is killing your business. So they said, we're going to save your business by scrapping the DEI, and they killed your business with tariffs. So congratulations, free market capitalism.
Wait, so who is the asshole there? Who is exactly the asshole?
It's free market capitalism.
That's tongue-in-cheek, you mean?
Yeah, all of them. So number two,
okay,
the asshole is free market capitalism.
Wait, so am I supposed... Okay, keep going.
This conceit is not going to work. But
fine. I'm with you. I'm with you so
far. We're going to play it out. So number two, free market capitalism. Here's the headline that I saw. You alluded to it.
Yes.
U.S. very troubled by Norway funds Caterpillar divestment over Israel.
Well, this was a struggle for me. So I immediately thought of freedom fries. We were mad at France because they didn't join a horrible war against Iraq back in 2002 or something. And so the Republicans in Congress actually put in a bill. They changed the French fries to freedom fries. So I thought, what can we do with Norway? And I struggled. I spent too much of my morning figuring this out, and I ended up on Liberty Locks because I guess they sell a lot of salmon. Liberty Locks.
I'm pretty sure Locks is not
Liberty Locks. Well, as you said, I am Jewish, so it's important to me. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's what Lindsey Graham,
yes,
Republican
the
senator,
delightful teddy bear, Lindsey Graham,
said about this. Lindsey Graham,
is he sad?
Threatened to impose tariffs on Norway and stop issuing visas to the fund's officials. So if you're official of the fund that divested from Caterpillar because of the fund basically made an assessment. They said, Caterpillar's dealing in Israel. We don't want to hold this stock anymore. Uh-huh. And Lindsey Graham is saying, we are not going to allow your officials back in our country, and we are going to impose tariffs on Norway.
We're not going to they're not going to allow you
the officials of the fund back in the country.
Yeah,
they won't let them in this country.
That's scary, actually.
He said, to those who run Norway's sovereign wealth fund, if you cannot do business with Caterpillar because Israel uses their products, maybe it's time you're made aware that doing business or visiting America is a privilege, not a right. That's what Lindsey Graham, Republican senator, said.
I don't like this.
So every time you divest from something you don't like now for any reason, they're going to tariff you?
That makes me concerned because
revoke your visa?
I have said a million times in this show that I have embraced Costco and turned my back on Target because Costco embraced DEI and Target is saying no to DEI. So does that mean that Lindsey Graham is going to tax me and maybe kick
No,
me
he's
out?
going to revoke your visa. He can tell you he's going to send you to
Because
Guatemala.
I'm divesting for a reason he doesn't love? Is that all it is?
Because they don't agree.
So I made a political choice just like everyone in the world makes every day?
Like I would even get it more somehow. It's all nuts, but I would get it more if it was an American citizen or like our American fund who like decided loudly to do that, which there are American funds.
I thought that was capitalism, that you just make a decision.
This is a Norwegian fund who can invest wherever the fuck they want.
But so can Americans, I thought, except in Texas
Not
and
anymore.
Alabama and
Because the free market capitalists have decided to tell you where the free market capitalist money should go.
They're telling you where it's okay to divest and where it's not, essentially.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Number 3, asshole of the week. Free market capitalism.
Okay.
You see what I'm doing here? You see how it's working?
Yeah. What do you got?
Look, the way capitalism works now is you thank the dear leader. Here are the quotes from the Trump meeting. Okay? This is the Trump meeting with the tech executives. Sundar Pichai of Google said, I appreciate that your administration had a constructive dialogue and we were able to get to some resolution. So Pichai thanked Trump administration for getting to an antitrust resolution. Here's what Sam Altman said. This made me throw up in my mouth a little bit. Thank you for being such a pro-business, pro-innovation president. It's a very refreshing change. I think it's going to set us up for a long period of leading the world, and that wouldn't be happening without your leadership.
Has Sam been paying attention to American history since like slavery?
Why are we sucking Donald Trump's dick? I don't understand any of it.
But I don't. But why did you just conveniently ignore U.S. history? I mean, especially since World War II. America.
Did Sam Altman drop out of college?
Oh right, okay.
We didn't get to that class.
I think you nailed it. Yeah,
you didn't get to that class.
I love it. So if Sam had stayed in college, he'd realize that America has been pro-business long before Trump was president.
And here's the funniest part to me, because
Sam,
at one point
that's disgraceful, Sam. You need to go away too.
At one point, Trump started pointing at executives and asking them how much they were planning to invest in America. And Tim Cook said $80 billion a year, and Satya Nadella said $80 billion a year, and Tim Cook said like $200 billion.
85, 90.
Then it came to Mark Zuckerberg, who's sitting right next to Donald Trump. And when Donald Trump pressed him for a number, Zuckerberg replied that Meta would invest at least $600 billion in the U.S. through 2028.
Okay, so he's doing he's doing a multi-year. He's trumping the other.
They just sat around and they were like, "What number will Donald Trump think is the coolest?" Everyone say a bigger number as you go around, and then you could see them in that middle school way where they're like, well, I punched 3 kids. I punched 4 today. I took 7 kids' lunch money. I did 12 kids in the last 2 days.
Look, this is why.
baby.
This is why I'd like to think that shows like this are important for our democracy. Is that famously, a lot of the pledges, especially around Trump. Already this year, I think it was SoftBank's pledge is bullshit. These pledges don't amount to where they start. It's all lip service, and these CEOs should be held accountable for this. The one that always makes me angry, of course, is Elon Musk, who promises everything to his shareholders, is never accountable for any of it. He just gets to say stuff.
You know that the number that Mark Zuckerberg is doing, he's literally sitting there and he's making up a number to please Trump right there because he's right next to him. He's making up a number. It's so dumb. And when you actually do the math on these numbers, and I could tell you this for a fact because it happened in the reverse. So right now we're pleasing dear leader, the conservative Trump administration. But when I was an analyst back at the mothership.
You were an analyst? I just thought you were like a lunatic on a milk crate in Times Square.
Well, that's what we call analysts at MSCI.
That's true.
I actually had to look at all of these banks would come out with massive numbers for how much green finance or climate finance they were going to fund. And all the banks would trump the last bank. It was literally the same thing, except there was no administration asking for it. But they would come out and say, we are going to fund $10 billion in the next 5 years in climate finance. And the next one will come out, we are going to fund $12 billion in the next 9 years.
Eventually we got to 600 billion, yeah.
And that's exactly how you get to 600 billion.
It's like The Price is Right, except you can't go over in The Price is Right, though.
I'm going to tell you right now something that happened behind closed doors. This is 15 years ago, so I don't think it matters anymore. But Goldman Sachs put out a number that said they were going to fund $10 billion in like 7 years or something like that. And I wrote in a report that we ended up sending to Goldman to get verification. I wrote down, I said, I cannot account for this number. When I do the math, what I find is that they're double counting. So these banks basically, if they all finance together one company, they don't tell you the amount that they raised. They tell you the total amount that they financed, and they all claim credit for it. So every one of them gets triple or quadruple or quintuple the number that they of financing. So I did all the math and I sent it back to them and I said, you said you raised 10 billion. I can only come up with like 1.7.
Uh-oh.
Can you describe the difference? And they came back and they sent me a spreadsheet that was on. I was like, I'm not allowed to talk about the specifics of the spreadsheet, but they counted every possible thing they could that they had done already or were going to do. They didn't add anything new to it, and they were happy to say we double count. All of these numbers are fictions.
Yes.
Now we're doing the same thing to conservatives. So you didn't like what we did with the lefties and the climate activists and the ideologues over there, like who are claiming all these big numbers. They want it like to look. Now you're doing the same exact thing with Dear Leader. It's a fucking joke.
All right. Well, come on. Who's your fourth?
All right. Fourth, free market capitalism.
Oh, wait. I thought we already did that one. Okay. What do you got?
I have to bring up the Musk pay package.
Yeah, we'll spend more time on this next week, I think.
We're going to spend a lot of time on it. But effectively, I'm getting into the nitty gritty of the pay package, the $1 trillion number. And it's not 1 trillion. My number is his likely net worth when we're done with this is 1.5 trillion. And the way he gets there is to turn Tesla into a meme stock again by acquiring all of his private companies and taking the multiple on the meme.
Right. I mean, and that was that was whispered at in the past, right? That he wants to have a big, horrible, evil empire called, of all things, X.
Yeah. And he said
just like a movie villain.
It's out in the press. Kara Swisher's been talking about it for a long time. That's been his desire.
That's his movie villain desire.
The way he now can make himself the world's first trillionaire is to leverage all those private companies inside of Tesla, his piggy bank, and get control at the same time. Like he'll end up with 25% control of the company.
I made a decision, Elon. I figured something out. First of all, we already have other car companies. We have other social media companies. We have we have NASA can go to space. We have other AI company. We don't need you anymore. Why don't you just retire? Why don't you move back to South Africa?
Here's the part of the free market capitalism, like related to this, that I find the most comical.
Go ahead.
The special committee at Tesla. Special.
That's what they called it.
They called it. It's not us. Special committee at Tesla that decided this was 2 people because they cannot find anyone independent on this board.
And even the people they found are only one of them is maybe independent.
Not independent, but closest.
Yeah.
It's Robin Denholm, who's on every committee.
And is nowhere close to being independent. When you see how much money she makes, we actually alluded to it, right? She made nearly $1 billion in the last few years. That's not independent of anything.
No, and the other person is Kathleen Wilson Thompson.
Okay.
Kathleen Wilson Thompson, who is on the committee, the special committee to decide giving him back his $90 billion, for the old pay package that was taken away by Delaware, and this new pay package. Guess who the only one on the pay special committee up for a vote this year? The sacrificial lamb.
It's not Robin Denholm, I know that.
So Kathleen Wilson Thompson, congratulations on getting voted out of Tesla because investors are going to be so pissed at the only person they can vote on.
Can I?
So those are my options.
Can I vote?
Yeah, vote. Pick something.
So can I just say free market capitalism, or do I have to pick
yes,
one of them?
That's the correct answer.
But can I just say that the one I would focus on the most, I think, would be this This very disturbing Lindsey Graham. I find that very
Yeah,
disturbing.
unbelievable. That's really terrifying. All right.
And childish and petty and incredibly hypocritical.
Let's do headlines, winners, predictions.
Get the hell out of here. That's what you're trying to say is let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get out.
I have a bunch of headlines. I was tickled. Again, I told you I tagged so many good stories this week. Hats off for this first one. You know I love headlines where they're not specific and it's just a bunch of nouns and adjectives thrown together. And I double-checked this. This is serious. This is an actual headline. And let me see if you can guess what the story is. But this is the actual headline. I don't know what they're afraid of here. I don't know why they don't want to tell you who or where or what. Giant food company fires CEO after anonymous reports raise alleged romantic relationship with employee. Giant food company fires CEO.
That's the Nestle story?
Yes. Do they think Americans are just too stupid to know what Nestle is? Or do they think that, what do they think? Giant food company.
I mean, okay, so in fairness,
Yeah.
that headline is from People.
Okay, so
Like,
what?
but isn't that like a
they dopes?
trashy rumor rag, right? Like,
Okay,
so
but come on.
someone
Giant
who reads
food
People,
company?
they're going to be like,
What about
you don't
chocolate
know
maker?
any of these
That's better.
people.
All right,
I
my next-
actually,
yeah.
they
Go
got
ahead.
it backwards. The romantic relationship should have come first, and then everyone would have read it.
That's true. Hey, my next one, I love the dopey Jim Cramer quotes. This is the guy from CNBC. I don't know how CNBC. I know you're listening. Give us a show, like even
Yeah,
if
what
it's
the
2
hell?
a.m. If you can let this chucklehead make quotes like this with just like his random opinions, let us who spend dozens of hours every week doing actual research. We said it's on our website. It's fact-based snark. Everything we talk about is based on thorough research and facts, public filings, etc. Here's what Jim Cramer has to say. Here's the headline. Palantir Technologies CEO is the smartest person ever to live, says Jim Cramer. I mean, I know you're laughing, but come on. If you can let that guy have a show, give us a show at 2 a.m. when no one's listening.
To live.
Just let us have a show.
alive.
Let us have a show. My third headline, which I just think is incredible. This is the National Basketball Association of Basketball Coaches Board of Directors, the NABC, right?
So many words in there.
A lot of boards that we cover here. This is the headline. Pope named to NABC Board of Directors.
Wait, that
Look, just take it at face value. It's just a great headline.
it is a good headline.
Yeah.
I hopefully it is.
Unfortunately,
the
it's not our holy pontiff, but I just love that headline.
womp,
Pope.
all
man. What do
right,
you
I've
What
got
do you
two.
Yeah.
Here's one. This one speaks for itself. A Midwest lawyer named Mark Zuckerberg wants the other Mark Zuckerberg to stop ruining his online footprint.
Oh, good luck with that. Good luck.
I just like that the Midwest lawyer considers the other Mark Zuckerberg.
Good luck.
That's like he's the other one.
Yeah.
And then this one made me giggle. Newsmax sues Fox News for allegedly abusing monopoly power.
Okay.
The monopoly power they are alleging in court that Fox News has is right-wing thoughts.
What?
I'm not kidding.
But can't you just change the channel?
The lawsuit alleges that Fox News is abusing its power as the leader in conservative-leaning news.
I don't understand. You can't change the channel?
I didn't realize that ideology was a monopoly position.
Well, we must
who
must
who's the
monopolize
left wing?
insipid thoughts about corporate governance and ESG, right? Yeah.
My immediate thought was, who do we have to sue, or who's going to sue us for our snarky governance monopoly?
Okay.
Who sues us?
Come on, let's move
All right,
on.
who's your winner?
Easy for me. It is the chair and former CEO and the longest tenured director at Nestle, Paul Bulk. I don't know. He
Good one.
Clearly won the week. He's a big man over there at Nestle.
I've got two winners this week.
Go ahead.
The first is Intel, because this is turning out to be the best trade ever.
Yeah, cash.
Intel got $9 billion in cash.
And
got 9% of it, 10% of its voting rights back.
Right. They diluted the dissenting voting share.
Right. So now 10% of now you have to you have a smaller number of shares with which to vote against anyone there.
They're starting with the guy on second base at all meetings.
And to get that, they did nothing. They got the same money they were going to get.
Well, they had to go have a dinner with Trump, which I actually would not want to do.
Can you imagine if you had to go have a dinner
McDonald's,
and what you got in
Diet
return?
Coke. Yeah.
The Trump administration said, we're going to give you this money. It was a grant, so you didn't have to give up any equity for it. But now they're like, oh, we're going to take equity. We got a stake in you. But really what they got was no opposition. And now there's this headline: Trump deal lets Intel move factories overseas. Senator Warren explains.
Yeah, that's not even funny. Yeah, Elizabeth Warren.
What
on
a
top
win!
Of that one. That's horrible. Yeah.
So now Intel doesn't even have to manufacture stuff here.
Again, all political theater. All political. It's the same thing with Tim Cook at Apple. Tim Cook went to have dinner with Trump a month ago, and then they agreed, I guess you don't have to make the iPhone in America. Don't worry about it.
Isn't that the thing you've been arguing?
Yes,
it's an American company.
absolutely.
We're going to take an American stake. But, by the way, all the other companies need to make stuff here, but you don't. Because we want you to be cheaper, or what? What is that?
And in the last few jobs reports, the sector that's really struggling is manufacturing. So I don't know.
Intel.
I don't know what Trump is figuring out here. Yeah.
Geniuses.
What else? What's your other winner?
And my second winner, my sub winner here, is a lefty climate activist named Jay Butera.
Have we talked about him before?
We've never talked about him, and with good reason. Jay Butera is he's on the advisory board of the Citizens Climate Lobby.
Is Robbie Starbuck on that board? Probably not.
No, he did not get asked to be on that board, but he's a longtime climate activist, and he invests in climate solutions.
Graduate of Brown, like you.
I love Jay Butera, but I'm angry at Brown right now. Jay Butera submitted a shareholder proposal at Tesla asking for a political neutrality policy, which made me giggle. Jay Butera, you unwittingly, I know you're doing it because Elon Musk stepped into far-right conspiracy theory politics, and you're saying Tesla's a climate company, I want him out of those politics, he's alienating his customers, all that stuff. I love it because it's literally the ask that conservatives are demanding of every company they go in, that they're saying they're looking for political neutrality policies. They have scorecards about political neutrality. They're saying conservatives are discriminated against in corporate America, and lefty climate activists managed to ask for the exact same thing. We're all the same. It's all the CSG. He's one of my winners.
Interesting board at Citizens Climate Lobby. Not only Jay Butera, but they have two actors, Don Cheadle and Bradley Whitford, from West Wing.
Yeah, of course.
And a dead guy. They have a dead man on their board, George Shultz, the former, he was in the Reagan cabinet, Secretary of State, I think.
He died 10 years ago, didn't he?
He's listed on the board, despite that they also told you that he died in 2021, but still listed on the board. It's an interesting board, very interesting board. Two actors and a dead man. I love it.
All right, who's your predictions?
Mine's easy. Nestle, that's the company I'm talking about this week. In light of Kraft Heinz, what are they changing it to? Global...
I like global taste sensation.
Is that what it is? I have to scroll to that. Global taste elevation. In light of that genius, in light of that, Nestle, because they want to try to get out of the shadow of this scandal, they're going to change its name to Human Nourishment Ventures.
Oh, I like that. It's a good name, though. That's a good name. I have a quick one. The U.S. government will take a 100% stake in Caterpillar, Tractor Supply, and Harley Davidson because the free market is just manliness in the 1980s.
Yes.
Right? That's the free market.
But you know what? Why doesn't Nestle change its name to Giant Food Company? I think that would be better. Isn't that better
why
than
doesn't Tractor Supply change its name to
Giant Tractor Company? Giant
Manly Vehicle Drivers.
All right. Time to shut up.
That's all we got. That's
all we got. Come on, that's a lot.
We are free float. We did not get to a proxy countdown this week. We will get to one next week.
A lot of Tesla next week. If you care about that kind of stuff.
Cover. So we're going to cover that this coming week because we knew it was coming. And if you didn't see Shareholder Primacy, Mike Levin and Ann Lipton's podcast came out. They talk about Intel. They talk about the government stake in it. Fascinating conversations. Get that podcast. Until next week. Good. Bye.